Welcome to another episode of the Brown Couch Bruhz.
Brown Couch Bruhz, right here on Jefferson on the east side.
Brown Couch Bruhz, we back in the building after a nice Super Bowl week off.
Super Bowl week off, snowstorm, ice storm.
We had a little bit of everything.
Everything.
But they keep letting us back.
And the door stay unlocked up in here.
It's Michigan. It's Michigan, baby.
Customary fashion. Let's toast it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Tip.
And with the weather being like it is, this should be hot cocoa.
But it ain't.
But I'm okay with what I got. Yes, sir.
Definitely should be.
Some good water. That's good water.
Nice
For
water.
the Qs watching the show today, I got my red on. This is a Red Wings, Detroit Red Wings. It's got Detroit on it, so I get a pass for the red. A pass.
You still represent, though. I mean,
You can only walk around in some hoods like that. Yeah. Serena would make sure you stay true to what you had to choose.
Hey, when you're dealing with the Qs, it's like the blood.
oh, yeah, you can't wear red. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be careful.
Be careful out
My
in the
son been
street.
getting the business. He wear red for a living.
For a living, right? Exactly.
You still get
He still get hazed though. Right. Hey man, that's their uniform. What did you want to
Nothing you can do about
You
that.
don't play for the Ravens.
Man, fall off that guy.
Yep.
Well, let's tip it off, fellas. Let's tip it off. Nice week of sports. Nice about a week and a half
You
of
know,
sports.
it wasn't bad.
We're going to get to the Super Bowl recap. We're going
Yeah.
to talk some NBA today. But what we going to tip off on today?
Well, let me start it off, man. Hey, women's basketball is more ballsy than the men's basketball. It's just that, man.
Well, he mentioned that the last time.
Well,
was
we
on
talked
air.
about it, but
Yeah.
man,
Man, I'm glad y'all come
hey,
around.
they're more ballsy, man.
This is what we call growth.
Personal growth. Personal growth, man.
Yeah.
Man, what I saw throughout the week, man, flipping through channels with the WNBA. Now, let's not forget, I did call it all gimmicky.
Mm.
But what they did with this one-on-one
Yeah, man.
was ballsy.
Yeah, man.
It was ballsy. Nobody took shorts. The best came out to play the other best.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
We didn't have a Caitlin Clark sighting, but we didn't need it
Nope.
because the best one-on-one ladies got out there and balled. And it was good to see, man. I mean, yes, they need the money. $200,000 on the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nafisa Kaya, she won it. She ended up winning it. Took away the $200,000. Everybody else who was in the semis, I mean, the money just kind of trickled down.
Mhm.
But man, it was good to see. And what she said in her interview, because they pressed her a little bit on, what you think about the men doing this. And she was like, listen, it's your name on the line. It's your rep. It's your business on the line.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But she was like, it's no shame of losing to any of these ladies.
Right.
I mean, of course, you're the winner. You say that. That's good. But,
Right.
But she's right. If KD went out and lost to James Harden, I think no less of KD's career.
Right.
It's a one-on-one game. It was for fun. And I think if you got the men to do it, you'll get a little more. The mic's on the floor. It's gonna be some chirping.
Mhm.
The women, and like I say, this was their first year doing it. I think when they start escalating, you're gonna see a little more chirping. You're gonna see a little more back and forth. But man, kudos to the WNBA for doing that. That was the best gimmick that I've seen and that I can get behind. Through the WNBA, man. So that's my tip off, man. Hats off to what they did. And I'll be watching the matchups coming down the line.
Yeah.
Because you know what they did in the one-on-one tournament. So it was big for me, man. I enjoyed it. Surprisingly enough, I really enjoyed it. They kept it, monotone as far as how, what you had to go to, 12, 8, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they did their thing, man. And I was impressed. I was very impressed.
For those who don't know what it's like in a professional basketball practice, the one-on-one situation that happens every day, before, during, after practice in the NBA or any other professional sport, or even college and sometimes high school, guys get together, they want to go one-on-one, they want to test their skills of one another. The difference is this one was filmed and it was for a prize,
And it was
right?
for
at
a
the end of the
prize.
day. And I think what the ladies showed was that it's possible. People want to see it. And it's okay to risk it.
It's okay to
It's okay to risk
that's
it and
the
say,
thing.
you know what? Old boy got the best of me today.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And to your point, doesn't take away from my legacy. I'm still who I am. So I'd love to see that transition to the men.
Well, I want to piggyback off of something you said our last broadcast in regards to the women's college game and the men's college game. And when I look at moving forward to the WNBA, when you have your Juju Watkins, your the young lady
Can't
in
wait for that
Utah,
one to get to go.
Beckers, when you have those guys, the girl over in South Carolina, you know, those are up and coming WNBA future stars.
Yep.
So that league is not going to do anything but prosper more because I'm naming these three ladies by name.
By name.
You know.
We know them.
Yeah.
You know.
College game, it's the boy, the young man over at Duke, Flag,
Yeah.
Cuckoo flag.
Coop, and maybe one or two other guys, but I don't know their name.
Yeah.
I know Flag, but those three ladies I just named, those are going to be up and coming, high round draft picks, probably the first 2 or 3 picks in the draft
Yep.
coming up, and going to participate in just what you just described. So the women's game is going to prosper. It's just the college game, women's game, and the WNBA. I think they all in one sync. So I'm on the same page.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
So
yeah.
so they wanted Caitlin Clark to get in the 3-point contest. She don't need to. She don't even need to.
Right.
She don't need to cross up.
Stay in your lane.
WNBA is doing it. They're doing it. They're kind of doing it right. You just got to get the people to follow it. They're doing it right. I mean, so I like it, man. I love it. You know, shout out to Aaliyah Edwards. She came in second. But man, they balled, man.
They balled.
They were serious, man. It was
did.
serious play,
They
bro.
was hooping.
My tip off, man, I know because it's coming up, man. The Tigers in spring training starting next week.
Pitchers and catchers reported.
Lakeland. Tigers made a couple of moves. I'm glad that they re-signed. They brought back Flaherty from the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They gave him a 2-year deal at I want to say $35 million, $25 million the first year, guaranteed $10 million for a team option for the second year, which is a good deal. The one thing I did want to mention was we missed out on Bregman from the Astros. We needed a guy like that, and I can't blame the Tigers because they offered the most money and the most years. They offered him $170 for 6 years. The 6 year was debatable, but they did throw it out there. He ended up signing with Boston Red Sox for $120 for 3 years.
Okay.
And a lot of things I think played into that. Dimensions at Tiger for
Not a favorable partner.
not a favorable park.
Right.
Not a favorable park for a right-handed hitter. And also with the Boston deal, I think after 3 years, he can, of course, after two, he can opt out. So shout out to the Tigers for at least putting it out there. You know, they wasn't afraid to go out in free agency and spend some money to get a number 2 bat in that lineup, which they really needed a right-handed bat. And so I think they're going to try to piece some things together again this year, but they still can drive. They were rated the number 1 farm system in Major League Baseball. So they got some pieces they can work with to bring us a bat in here for this upcoming season.
So would you mention the dimensions of the park? And so it's more for the pitching.
It's a pitching, right? If you're a pitcher, you will love to pitch at Comerica.
So I'm glad to see that they brought back Flaherty and make it a pitcher's. I mean, if this is what it is. That's what it is.
That's what it
it's
is.
A pitcher's park.
Yeah.
So play to your dimensions because you're there 81 times a year.
Yeah.
You know, so you might as well play to it.
Yeah. Speaking of a good farm system, is not a better one than Detroit Martin Luther King boys basketball farm system.
They breed them.
They breed them.
Right down the street here.
Right up
Right there.
they breeding killers, dogs over there. So they are back in the PSL championship game. My son had a chance to play in 3 city championship games, 1, 2, lost 1. And now King is back in that game. They had a bunch of sophomores and young kids last year, my son's senior year. Now they've grown up, and now they dogs, and they gonna hunt come Tuesday. Play Renaissance in a championship game. I think they're over at Wayne County Community College this year, but shout out to George Ward for doing an outstanding job, as always. Hall of Fame coach here in the state of Michigan.
Coach Ward.
We got to get Ward on the show.
Coolie guy.
Get George on the show.
He's won state championships, wasn't he? Did he play with Raphael and Natalia?
Yeah.
So
on that team. So
look at George out over here, man.
Yeah, shout out to both schools.
Yeah, Renaissance.
Should be a great one come Tuesday. We're taping before the show, before the game starts. So don't know the outcome, obviously. But shout out to King and all those young men doing an outstanding job. Young Drew, Steve, all those guys, all them guys doing well, man, over there. So I'm real proud and real happy that they are back in the championship game.
They're back
for East Lafayette.
Kings just stay in the championship game, don't they?
But it's only 8 PSL schools.
But they seem to stay in it, man.
It's
from a basketball standpoint, it's a little bit different than football.
Well, let me say this. Sadly enough, it's been Cass and King and Renaissance, right?
Right.
That's been it.
And Cass and King in football.
But
the city
you start to see starting to see other schools start to improve and get better. Central was in the Final Four in boys basketball this year. Outstanding job over there at Central. Shout out to all those coaches over there. That program is starting to build back up and rejuvenate, man. Got kids right off there on Linwood. Coming to play.
Right.
So you always want to see that, man. It's good for the PSL when there's multiple schools that are good and have a chance to win.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned it, shout out to brother Antonio Gates, Detroit Central. Recently elected to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. You see the video?
I saw the video. Yeah.
You sent me the video.
I think I sent you the video. Yeah. I did. Yeah.
Was that when they came to?
Yeah, the came to. Yeah. It surprised him. But shout out to Gates. 116 touchdowns, most all time as a tight end. Detroit raised,
and it's so funny.
Central born, all of that.
And it's so funny to piggyback on that. Where I saw the video of when I know what video y'all was talking about, but the video with him playing at Kent State.
Oh yeah,
and how
he was killing it. Then.
He was killing it.
Yeah.
So you're talking basketball, but that was him.
Yeah,
he was killing it.
Yeah,
went to the tournament. I think they won the first round.
They went to the final 8.
So he played big.
And that's what the great athletes do. That's what the great athletes
do.
They play both, man. If you a killer, you playing basketball or you playing football.
Man.
That's just what you doing.
And so what Nick Saban was at Michigan State when he was there, when he first got there.
When he first got there.
So he said, man, you need to play you need to play football. That's where your money at. He was like, no, if I can't play for Izzo, I'm gone. And he left.
And the rest is history. You're right.
Didn't really play college football
at all.
Then he get a yellow jacket. Man, shouts out to the man, bro.
Look, I mean, we lucky enough. We had London a couple weeks ago.
We had London
basketball with me to end up with football.
And got a yellow jacket coming.
Actually, more kids need to do that.
Yeah. If you
some of them have absolutely no business. I mean, they're going to make more money. They're going to make some money playing football before they play basketball for a lot of them. The game is different, man. You got to be long, tall.
Yeah. You always say it's positionless basketball.
It's positionless basketball. And, 6'2", 6'4" ain't enough sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
What we used to call it, the danger zone.
Yeah.
You the danger zone.
Listen, and it's still the danger zone. It's about 6'2" to about 6'7", 6'8". That's the danger zone.
That's the danger zone.
All the best players on every team are going to be that height playing in those positions.
Yep. Yeah.
I wish I could. And when I see these guys walking off the court at UAD, the basketball guys, I just want to whisper in their ear, they're 6'5", 6'6". You know you a millionaire in football. You gonna get a good degree from UAD and get a 9 to 5 once you leave here in basketball. But you're a millionaire in football.
You're a millionaire in football.
Jug machine.
Yeah, jug. Get the jug.
Jug machine.
Man, these guys be walking by me, man. They 6'5", 230, 240. I'm like, oh, you a millionaire in football. Whether you playing outside linebacker, edge rusher, tight end. But you in basketball, like you say, you in that danger zone.
In the danger zone. Everybody
you wreck ball. You wreck ball on Saturdays, brother.
Oakland County big.
Not really 7th hour gym class. Really 7th hour gym, bro. You don't. There's no future for you here.
Right.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, but hey.
Well, let's get to game time, fellas. It's game time. We got to do a Super Bowl recap. Any surprises coming out of the Super Bowl game?
Well, I had Philly.
We'll get to halftime.
Okay. Yeah.
Get to that.
I had Philly winning the game. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer. But you could tell after the first 2 series that Kansas City was on offense. Philly's defense was just, especially their front 4. They were making Mahomes uncomfortable in the pocket. like Brady mentioned, he had jittery feet. He couldn't get set. So when they went up 24-0, I already knew it was over with. That defense wasn't going to give up 24 points, period. They probably wouldn't have gave up 24 points that night in 2 games. But surprised that it was that big of a win as far as points-wise. But I had Philly winning the game. I thought the game plan was excellent. They rushed 4. They dropped 7. Even if Mahomes had an open guy, he was tackled real quick. So shout out to Philly. Brandon Graham, another Detroit-born, Detroit raised. Crockett.
Yeah,
that's his 2nd Super Bowl. Shout out to BG. Shout out to Adams. Devontae Maddox. I'm sorry, Devontae Maddox, Detroit King. Pittsburgh graduate, University of Pittsburgh graduate. Came out with my son in 2014. His first Super Bowl win. Hey, Detroit all over the place, man.
Yeah, man. I'm surprised that the game was that lopsided. I fully expected Philadelphia to win it. I thought they would win the game. But I thought it would be a close game. I actually thought that whoever was going to get the ball last had a chance to win. And if it was Kansas City and you give Mahomes a minute and a half, 2 minutes, I thought Philly would have been in trouble if the game was close. I was impressed by what I saw the defense do. I was disappointed that I thought that Kansas City didn't make enough adjustments at halftime and throughout that game. We always talk about the magic of Patrick Mahomes, the magic of that coaching staff, and how they're able to, to be that offensive juggernaut. But I just simply didn't see it. And you're not going to see it when your quarterback doesn't have a chance to make magic happen. I thought they abandoned the run game way too soon. I thought that if they had a chance to be competitive in that game and to actually win that game, that you needed to establish the run in some way, even just to keep the pass rush down. But then the jealous part of me was looking at that saying, a healthy Lions team, a healthy Lions defense.
A healthy Lions defense probably
applied that kind of pressure.
We'd have beat Kansas City.
Could have applied that kind of pressure to whoever they played.
But when we had beat Philly,
well.
That's the question. That would have actually been the game.
That would have been
because I think we beat Kansas City easy. What I saw.
After I saw what Philly did to Kansas City, I have more respect for Philly.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
After that,
no doubt.
But I would like to see it happen. I would like to see it happen. Shout out to Jalen Hurts.
Root to the Qs.
Root to the Qs.
Good job.
This was just a pure domination by Philly. To Kansas City.
And so I had Kansas City. I clearly
you don't
had,
like Philly.
but I had Kansas City only because I thought that Kansas City was I just thought they was gonna play better than that. So it only takes one game for you not to play your A game.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. What I was surprised about was the discipline that Philly showed. And when I say the discipline, they rushed 4. Them 4 stayed as disciplined as you can be for that week. So the guys when Mahomes got outside, there was a guy waiting on him. So they did everything. Philly did everything right up front. As far as when you said halftime it was 24-0, you was like, yeah, they not coming back from that. I still had hope. I sat there and was like,
you had hope because you don't like Philly. That's the only hope. That's why.
But the Brady aspect, when Brady 28-3, against Atlanta. So I was like, man, this ain't over. This ain't over. Then next thing you know, a 42-yard, 45-yard bomb to Devontae Smith. Yeah, this is over.
In games like that, it always comes down to protecting the football. And Mahomes threw 2 costly interceptions.
He did.
A pick 6. And there's one key stat that they said, I think I heard, out of this Super Bowl 59, out of 59 Super Bowls, it's only been 6 teams that didn't blitz at all. And Philly was the 6th team that the whole game didn't blitz. And that's a lesson out there for the Lions when we talking about D-ends and D-tackles. If your front 4 can control the game, then your corners and everybody else, it's not like a day off, but it's not as much pressure on them to guard as long, to check as long, and stuff like that. So shout out to the defensive coordinator with the Philadelphia Eagles. They had a great game plan.
So was that a message to Lions?
That's a message.
That's just what I say. Yeah,
that's definitely
exactly.
I don't know if it's gonna be Myles Garrett. I don't know if it's gonna be my man over here with the Raiders, the brother over there, or the guy over there with Cincinnati, or I know you don't want your guy to leave, Micah, from Dallas, but
he can.
If we need to get a defensive end over here to complement Hutch on the other side, we got to do it. And I know that might be another day as far as talking about draft and all of that.
Right. But the reason I say he can, real quick, is because if we only rushing that guy from that side and we don't have 3 other guys doing it doesn't matter. It
don't matter.
It doesn't matter. So that's why I say he can. We need to solidify everything up. But that's a whole
that's a whole nother topic.
Thing.
Right, right. Talk about what Dak said. Dak said y'all right there.
Dak, and that's crazy.
Dak said, man, right there.
We wasn't 2 touchdowns near none of them teams that played on Sunday, man.
Dak out his mind.
Look, man.
We wasn't 2 touchdowns.
Dak is the highest paid quarterback, if not in the top 3 in the NFL. And now this brother, Jalen Hurts, has been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. Now Jalen making bank too, but come on, Dak.
Yeah.
This guy got a Super Bowl now, Dak.
We not 2 touchdowns.
Mahomes got 3 Super Bowls, Dak.
Dak Prescott is the 3rd best quarterback in his division.
Wow. He behind Jaden?
Yeah.
Wow. A rookie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight it. I'm not gonna fight it.
Jaden has been farther than Dak.
Hey, I'm not gonna fight it.
Yeah, he took his team to semifinals.
And he's still growing.
So let's stay on quarterbacks.
Okay.
What does this do to Jalen Hurts' legacy? What does this do to Patrick Mahomes' legacy?
Mahomes' legacy is still intact, but right now, if I had the rating, is Brady and it's Joe Montana. Joe has 4. Now, if Mahomes would have won this, especially coming back down from 24-0 in Brady-esque fashion, and won it all, he would probably be considered 1 and 1A. GOAT, they'd be both the GOATs. I heard somebody say that now Mahomes has to win at least 5 to be in the conversation.
Ain't that crazy?
Being the GOAT. Right. The guy been in the Super Bowl 5 times in 7 years.
Yeah.
You almost at LeBron numbers as far as championships going. 3 Super Bowls, 3 wins, 2 losses. Right now, I would put him at 3. I put Brady, Montana, maybe even 4 behind Bradshaw, because he has 4. So, yeah.
I think it's time to just push the pause button. Let's just pause on Mahomes right now. I think he's still on the trajectory up, to challenge the Bradys and the Montanas of the world. But the only reason why we mentioned the Montana is because he lost. And he lost the way he lost, right? If this were a...
Hold on. You said Montana.
But Joe never lost.
Yeah, but we weren't talking about Joe Montana.
No, we weren't.
You know what I mean? We were talking about Patrick Mahomes being compared to Tom Brady.
Right. Okay, I got you.
To your point for this game.
Right, because he lost. Right.
We were mentioning Joe Montana because how poorly he played and the fact that he lost. So now it's time to pause. Mahomes is going to have to get himself back. I mean, he single-handedly probably had the worst performance of anybody on the team that day. He was bad. He was almost Jared Goff bad.
Well,
almost.
Well, when you look at
what I'm saying is, we tend to want to coin guys too soon,
too early,
too soon. Let this guy play. 7 years?
7 years.
7 years.
And he's been in 5 Super Bowls.
5 Super Bowls. He's been a starter 6 years, 7 years. So give him some time, figure it out. The Chiefs will be back. But I think that the GOAT conversation is definitely on pause with Patrick Mahomes. And I would have to tend to agree he's got to win 2, 3, 4 more for him to start getting mentioned again.
You know what you're asking? 2, 3, 4?
That's the trajectory that they've been on.
Right.
I want to be fair to him. That's hard to do.
Oh no,
but think about the trajectory though.
But see, this is what I'm saying.
He's won 3 already.
You can't say in one sentence, put it on pause, because he's already accomplished.
I'm just saying, put the GOAT conversation in terms of him being greater than Tom Brady on pause. Well, he ain't there yet.
No, he's not. But what he's accomplished so far with 3 Super Bowls, been in 5.
It's fantastic.
So it's hard to press the pause button on his greatness because it's the same thing that when we talk about LeBron. You know, he's been in 9 championships, won 4, and they still labeling him who the greatest between him and Jordan.
Yeah, but it's year 22 for LeBron. And if let's just say Patrick Mahomes doesn't play another NFL game for the rest of his career, are you calling him the GOAT?
No.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying by pressing the pause button. Let's get these years in. Let's get some years in them. What I'll say about Jalen Hurts, I mean, I think he's on a nice run. I think the last 2 Super Bowls he's played well. You even brought up his performance in the Super Bowl before last. How well he played. It was just costly turnover at the end of the game that really turned the tide against them. But he's gonna start now being mentioned as one of the better quarterbacks in the league and really charting the territory for himself. Being one of those guys who, when he gets there, he can get it done and finish the job. That's what I'm most impressed about with him. The only thing that I would say is that that's a tough division. If Jaden Daniels continues to improve and progress in the form and fashion that we think he will, that's gonna be a nice, tough matchup for Philadelphia with Washington twice a year. At some point, Dallas is going to be a formidable foe for them too. But I think Jalen has sort of solidified himself as really the pacemaker of quarterbacks in the NFL. I think what you're going to start to see, it's a copycat league. So what you're going to start to see is teams looking for guys like Jalen Hurts.
So he falls into a odd category, and he may be developing a new category. So a Super Bowl winner. So you got Trent Dilfer, you got Joe Flacco. He's way better than them guys. But he's not as great as, you don't think he's better than them guys?
No, I do. I do.
Okay. But I'm saying,
I feel like you're about to say he's a game manager.
No, but them guys were game managers. They stirred the boat. Hey, just don't get it off course. And that's what them guys did. He's better than that. But yet he's not quite the Mahomes elite, the guys that we put up there as far as winning championships. He's going to fall into and I don't know what the category is going to be, but he's going to fall in between that somewhere.
I kind of disagree with you as far as where he's at on the pecking order as far as greatness, because the guy been in 2 Super Bowls. He won in 1. He only been in the league, 4 years, 4 or 5 years, maybe 5. Around that time. About 5 years. So the Flacco and that was, I wouldn't even mention them at all.
But I'm saying, but they're lower tier guys that don't want to.
They shouldn't even be. Well, yeah. But when you talk about Jalen Hurts, you're talking about a guy who potentially, with the team he's on, I think he'll be back in the Super Bowl before Mahomes. Because I think Kansas City, they have a lot of stuff they have to get right over there. They got to get the tackles together. You don't know if Kelsey coming back. The defensive end, they just gave big money to. He's going to be out of the league in the next year or two. Chris Jones. So I think Jalen Hurts, and he's more of a weapon as far as these quarterbacks that you see besides Josh Allen and our boy over there in Baltimore, Lamar. So I think moving forward, his stars on the rise. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Philadelphia in another Super Bowl, I hate to say it because I'm a Detroit Lions guy, but in the next 2 or 3 years, I think they'll be there again. They got a great team, man. They got good corners.
But you're never going to put him as a GOAT.
Well, it depends. See, we always label GOATs as because Brady got 7. It's how he got them 7. You got to remember, 2 of those games that Brady won, it was Vinatieri. Kick game-winning field goals.
I get that.
Brady also lost two Super Bowls. So if Jalen Hurts wins 3 more Super Bowls, that'll give him 4, right?
Yeah.
We're doing math, right?
So hold on. So just give hold on. Let's just give him one.
Okay.
Give him one more. Let's real quick. Let's just give him one more. So now compare him. Is he equal to Eli Manning?
No, he's been
better than Eli.
That's what I'm saying. That's a category.
He's not on the A list of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There's another one for me.
Yeah.
He's on the B list of quarterbacks. But I think right now in this league, he's a pacemaker he's a prototype for what you want your quarterback to be in the future. You want your quarterback to be a decent pocket passer with good enough accuracy, a good arm, the ability to make a play after the pocket breaks down, and to get you in big games and give you a chance to win them. I think that's what Jalen Hurts is. Patrick Mahomes is magic. It's magic. He makes stuff happen, game-winning drives, unbelievable throws, key, completions at times of the game where you really need it. I think we're talking about two different types of winners who do it in different ways. But it's clear to me that Mahomes' trajectory is different, obviously, than Jalen Hurts' trajectory in terms of legacy, in terms of the GOAT conversation.
So we just came off of Antonio Gates getting the Hall of Fame jacket. Sterling Sharp, kudos to all them guys. All right, so Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Hurts, all say, you know what, I'm done this year. Who gets the gold jacket first?
Mahomes. We got 3 Super Bowls.
Okay.
Right. He gets it.
And then after that is
Lamar.
Without a Super Bowl.
I agree.
So that's why I'm saying Jalen Hurts falls into a category that's not even made up yet, because he's in between. He's, like I say, he's better than the Flaccos, the Dilfers, and them guys that made the Super Bowl runs. But he's not quite. I mean, we just put him behind a guy that ain't been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that guy got a couple of MVPs.
Yeah, that makes a difference. When you talk about being the most valuable player and winning that award and winning it twice,
and had a chance to win it again this year. Yeah,
that's the difference to me.
All right. Well,
that's the same thing you can say about Aaron Rodgers. He won a Super Bowl 15 years ago, but he got 4 MVPs.
Yeah,
4. So where do you put him? Is he
in Jalen Hurts category?
And you got to put him ahead of Jalen Hurts right now.
You got to put him ahead of Jalen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got a Super Bowl and 4 league MVPs.
We can't be prisoners of the moment. When you look back 4 years from now, 5 years from now, whenever Aaron Rodgers decides to retire, and when he becomes eligible, you're going to look back at his career and say, man, that's pretty impressive.
506 touchdowns.
So
6 all time.
Hurts didn't have the numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
But we got to give him time.
At least he doesn't
give him
have
time now.
Right.
He'll have it now.
Right.
So it's funny. It's a take that I had. So when Jalen came into the league, and shout out to my boy Ron Taylor, who has the Black Sports Black Sports Talk on Facebook. Yeah. Shout out to Ron Taylor.
Shout out to Ron. I've been on his podcast.
And we're gonna bring you on the show, Ron. You got to get out here.
JVH, baby. Yeah. JVH.
But we had a debate early on, and he was a big backing of Jalen coming into the league. And it's so funny because my take was he was like, where you think Jalen is gonna slate and in the draft. And I was like, is he going to change his position? I said that. I said that. It was a bad, I thought he was going to have to change positions. Man. Yeah, man, I did.
Your take on Jalen Hurts changing position.
Then.
Wow. It's about as bad. It's really on par with all the people that Kendrick Lamar was talking about. The Super Bowl.
Right.
You fit into that category. I don't know. You might have been Samuel L. Jackson. You might have been Samuel.
I was Uncle
Sam. There are stark similarities.
Wow. Yeah. So that was my take, man. And me and Ron went back and forth. And I to my credit, 2 years, 3 years after that, when I saw what he did with Philly, I did. I went back to Ron and said, man, you was right. Yeah. You was right. The man can. He's a quarterback.
And since you mentioned, speaking of Ron, shout out to his son, LaRon Taylor. Him and Webb, they tight. They play ball at Cass. LaRon just got engaged. They was in Columbia last week. And Webb, they had a little bachelor party thing going on. So shout out to little LaRon Taylor, man. Congrats.
Man.
Congrats.
Yep.
So I got a question on that. Dynasties, where are we at with this? Are they good or bad for the sports? And I say that because I sat there and watched Kansas City and I wanted them to win. I was like, man, this is a good story. Yet, years ago, I was like, man, I'm tired of Brady winning. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of hypocritical. You know, the Bulls, when they was, I didn't mind it. Golden State, I didn't mind it. I mean, it wasn't affecting me at all, you know, for the teams I root for. But I didn't mind it. Are y'all okay with the dynasties, or y'all like you?
Oh, I think dynasties are just part of sports. I think
it's just part of sports. Yeah, you got to.
I think we all want someone to root against, but you also have to have what dynasties also produces is a level of greatness, a standard. And so when dynasties, when a great team sets a standard for winning and how they win, and a manner in which they win, and how important the process of winning is, it sets the tone for the rest of the league. It sets the tone for everybody else who's not at the top.
Yeah.
So you gotta have a team at the top. You gotta have a franchise at the top. You gotta have that franchise that you know if they have a down year, that next year they back up. It's gotta be that way. And otherwise, what will sports be?
What will sports be?
Without us hating the evil empire of the Yankees.
And to your point,
without us hating the Lakers, you gotta have
dynasties
in sports.
Because one thing that dynasties, what they do is, and I think you just mentioned it in so many words, is it makes players better, it makes coaches better. Because you're trying to get to somewhere, you're trying to get better. You're trying to get what they have. You know, Lakers won 3 in a row. Bulls won 3 in a row. Jordan came back after twice, won 3 more. You know, so Houston won those 2 in between. So it fuels you, it drives you, whether you like it or not. When the Cowboys was winning, the Steelers were winning. Dynasties. You know, the Pistons had their back-to-back years. You know, dynasties. Well, if you call back-to-back a dynasty. I think we labeled 3 teams.
So that was my next question.
Yeah,
3.
Yeah,
but you know,
it depends on how dominant you are.
Yeah, but I don't always subscribe to that because look at what San Antonio Spurs did for years.
Exactly.
I mean, since '99, 99 to 2003 or something like that.
They won 5. Huh?
They won, or even beyond that, 06, I think. 06, 05, 05. They won 5 of them. I mean, how's that not dominant?
Yeah, or it's dominant. Right. So, but you okay with seeing it?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, good.
I think it's good. It's good for any league. Yeah.
Speaking of dominant performances, how about the halftime? Kendrick Lamar gave it to us. We thought he wouldn't do it. I thought he wouldn't do it, but he went ahead and performed the greatest diss record possibly of all time on national TV with millions and millions of people watching. And
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was watching the halftime show, I was watching the halftime show. I really didn't put the semblance of what he was trying to say or what he was doing together until the next day when other people from other platforms were posting and really breaking it down, and you know what he was saying and what they were doing on that field or on that stage. So after I I had went back and looked at the whole 13-minute show. After I read some of the things that he was symbolizing in his performance. So after seeing all of that, genius.
Yeah, I did. Genius. I couldn't appreciate the mastery until the next day.
Right.
I was just caught in the moment of let me hear some songs, and I'm in a concert setting, you know, and I love what I was hearing, and then the mastery of how he put it together, and what statements he was trying to make.
Now I knew the Uncle Sam statement. I knew that.
Yeah,
I got that.
You got that going in.
But far as this square, that square, this, you know, this, you know, Serena coming out. I didn't even know the other young lady, SZA was one of Drake's exes also. I didn't know that until reading about it the next day. So
Drake got a lot of exes out there.
yeah, he got a lot of exes out there. Yeah. So I just thought after I read some of the things and going back and looking at the performance, it was a great performance. You're gonna get a lot of naysayers that it was garbage.
There was a lot of people that didn't understand.
And I didn't. Like I said, just watching it. I'm just watching it. But then after I started hearing comments and reading other stuff, and then somebody actually sent me step by step what each symbol meant, then I was like, that was perfect.
Yeah,
that was great.
I mean, he basically single-handedly annihilated a guy and educated and elevated America and agitated America.
Well,
all at the same time.
I was about to say, I don't know how much he educated America.
Right. Well, definitely agitated.
He already agitated.
But he educated too.
He educated us.
Yeah,
you were educated.
But he agitated.
You're right.
He agitated not like us.
And agitated this country in a way that I've never seen a Super Bowl performance do.
Exactly.
Now, having said all that, he'll never come back again. He'll never be. This will be it. He'll never be back.
They might tell Jay-Z, you don't run this. You don't run this no more because he the one that selects.
Yeah.
We will not see a controversial artist next year.
No.
It's gonna be vanilla and entertaining.
Oh, it's gonna be a concert.
It's gonna be a sing-along.
Right. Yeah.
It's gonna be safe.
At SoFi Stadium. That's next year's Super Bowl.
Is it back in LA?
Yeah, it's back in LA.
And once it's over. No one's gonna talk about symbolism of it. No one's gonna feel educated or agitated by it at all.
Taylor Swift is gonna be the headliner.
You can guarantee that. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Taylor Swift.
So let's
not under the current administration, but that's another topic. Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So let's transition, man. I want to talk, we got the NBA All-Star Weekend coming up. NBA All-Star Weekend. Any excitement?
I'm sorry. I don't know, man. It's NBA's All-Star Weekend. Started off yesterday with the celebrity game and stuff, man. Gimmicks, man.
Bubba Dub. Trash. Shout out to Bubba Dub.
Remember, you said that. You said that. It's like, man, this game is straight. And I was like, man, switch over to the one-on-one game that's happening right now. Man, switch over, bro. But it's All-Star Weekend. Honestly, and I'm hoping with the new setup that they're doing with these sets of teams or what have you, and I'm hoping with what the WNBA did, what we talked earlier. I'm hoping you get some type of competitiveness.
Yeah.
From somebody. And it only takes one, maybe two guys. And a few years ago, I thought Ant-Man would be the guy. Just step up and say, you know what? I'm just gonna be a dog. If y'all want to sit here and watch me dunk, I'm dunking on you. So I'm hoping we get something. Just something to gravitate to, man. Because clearly we're not gonna get nothing out the dunk contest. You don't even know who's there. So we're not getting that. I think they got an alumni 3-point shooting thing. I saw
Dame Dollar, he defended his title in the 3-point.
Okay, so all right, so
Matt McClung,
guys are gonna shoot
in the dunk contest.
Yeah, it's sickening, ain't it? You got the alumni. I saw Run TMC together, Richmond, Mullen. So I saw them guys together, and I'm saying, okay, they doing something. So I don't know if that's a skills comp. I really don't even know. I really don't know, man. It's
Listen
just
to this guy.
Yeah, this guy's stomach hurt. His stomach is hurt from this, man. What you got?
You know my problem with NBA All-Star Weekend, particularly Saturday night. The best guys don't participate.
They don't participate.
No, they got their phones out though. They got some nice iPhones, iPhone 25, 35, or whatever it is. They out there. They are.
The best guys don't participate, man. And I want to see the best guys in the skills competition, dunk contest, 3-point contest. I want to see the best guys in those events. I grew up in an era where the best guys participated in those events. And I'm stuck there. I'm just stuck there.
See, this is the problem. What's that tournament they had within the season? What's that?
The in-season tournament.
Yeah.
The winner gets paid $500,000 a piece.
Okay.
Yeah, these guys getting paid, man. I don't think it's enough.
That you have to make an incentive-based decision. Steph Curry, is he in the three-point contest this year?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Why? Because he's not getting paid. The winner gets $1 million. I bet you he get in it then, even though he probably don't even need the money. He give it to his favorite charity. But what I'm saying is, and we talked about it before, when it came down to the Pro Bowl, at least the baseball All-Star game, the winner gets the home field advantage when it comes down to the World Series, the two teams. So the winner of the All-Star game was East National League or American League, whoever wins that game and goes to the World Series, they get the 4 games at home. It's incentive. In the NBA, they don't offer any incentive.
Yeah, man. I'm just not a fan of like just continuing to increase the pay to get people to play. I mean, to get guys to compete.
If that's the case, then do what I said a couple of weeks ago when we was doing the podcast. Just give these guys a week off.
Yeah.
Just give them a week off to rest their bodies.
Yeah.
Because that load management, I don't like that. Joel Embiid, he still ain't playing.
Yeah.
And, Philly on the verge of not even making the playoffs.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to make it incentive-based, just give these guys a week off, 3 or 4 days off, and they show up next week and they start back the season.
Yeah. Well, now is a good time to reminisce. Right? Since there's not much to look forward to this weekend, All-Star weekend. So let's go back a bit. So Revolt TV put out their top 10 NBA All-Star weekend moments. All right, and let's see which moments let's see if they got the list right? Let's see if we can agree to some of this. So at 10, it's the Shaq and Kobe reunion in 2009. And they both won the MVP award. Remember, that was right when Shaq had left and won it and went to Miami, won it in 06 with the Heat. Come 2009, they both become, they reunite and hug and shake hands and reunite and become MVPs of that game.
A good kumbaya moment.
Nice. Yeah. Good kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
Number 9. The NBA celebrates the 75 greatest players of all time. Now, what I remember from that game is at the very end of them announcing all the players to come out, the greatest shows up. Michael Jeffrey Jordan shows up and takes his walk. And it was almost like the stadium erupted, but the players stood at attention.
Yep.
And you talk about this all the time. It's like there's a Hall of Fame.
And it's somebody, he big in the Hall of Fame.
And then there's this special
group of guys. Whether it's football, baseball,
that's
basketball.
What that was.
And that was a special group of guys.
That was Mike.
That's what that was.
That was Mike. And we've seen videos of Mike and Magic going at it. And I'll take you right now. That kind of thing, right? And so great moment in All-Star Weekend.
And the wild part about that, it wasn't just the back end of the 75. It was the guys that was before him that
everybody
stood at all.
Yeah, he was. Right. So. And one thing I want to say about that 75th, those gentlemen, those legends. I was glad to see Dominique on that list. I thought he should have been top 50.
He should have been top 50.
Yeah,
he should have been
but he
top
made the
50,
75.
But he made the 75.
Yeah.
Was Alex English on that 75th team?
I don't remember if he was on it, but I know AD was.
AD was on. Adrian Danley was on there.
No.
Anthony Davis. No. They should have had Adrian.
The biggest snub, if you remember,
Dwight Howard. He should have been on there. Yeah,
been on that.
Dwight Howard should have been on there, man. He should.
He was the biggest snub.
I don't care what you say about Dwight Howard off the field, off the court. The guy was a hell of a basketball player, defensive player. I mean, Dwight Howard should have been top 75.
He was dominant. Number 8, LeBron becomes the youngest MVP in 2006.
Saw that coming.
Yeah.
I mean,
saw that coming. Saw that coming.
The guy lived up to every expectation.
The guys lived up to every expectation for 22 years.
Yeah.
So number 7, Kobe in Philly gets booed. He was MVP of the game, but got booed.
Yep, that's coming off the 2001 beating the Philly 4-1.
Yeah.
So
So they were supposed to boo. I mean, Philly. I mean, that's
Philly was going to be. They was going to boo.
just simple.
Yeah, that's Philly.
Right. Even if, they should have threw snowballs at him.
Number 6, Allen Iverson, fourth quarter comeback in 2001 to win MVP.
That was
on to his MVP season.
Yeah.
That was on with him and Marbury. Wasn't that was that year with him and Marbury?
Yeah.
Both kind of took over. That might have been one of your last competitive.
Maybe.
It's close to.
It's close to.
Yeah, that was close to the end of the competitiveness.
Where do you put AI? Because I think he don't get mentioned enough with the greats as far as where do you have AI in your basketball top? Where you have him at?
I mean, it's tough, man. He's top. To me, he's top
15.
Top 15. He's won an MVP. He's got the numbers. Never won a championship.
Right.
But a cultural icon.
A cultural icon.
Cultural icon. So when you talk about guys who changed the game and changed the culture of basketball,
he's one.
It don't
get no better than that.
Yeah.
Number 5, Michael Jordan's 1988 MVP and dunk contest winner. What did I just say? The best
who
competed in the events.
Yeah. We don't have that now.
We don't have that.
I think LeBron only been in one, hasn't he?
He ain't been in none.
LeBron has never been in the dunk contest?
No. He led the league in scoring that year. He was the MVP of the All-Star game, All-NBA, won the dunk contest. I think he might have been, was that the year he was playing point? And
he had 11 triple-doubles?
Yeah, some crazy, like the best competed. It was clear.
It was clear. Right.
Hadn't seen it since.
I think he robbed Neek that year. Was that 87?
He robbed Neek. Well, he went from the foul line and it was in Chicago.
Yeah, it was in Chicago. He robbed Neek.
They went back.
I think Neek, they gave Neek a 49. Yeah. He should have got a 50. Yeah.
They gave Mike a 50.
But once again, to your point, the best competed.
Man.
They competed. Yeah.
Number 4, Vince Carter dunk contest dominance in 2000. It was the most electric dunk contest I had ever seen.
Still
in my
is probably.
Life.
Yeah.
It is number 1 to me.
They were showing the dunk. I was watching something on SportsCenter today, and it was a dunk at North Carolina. He missed it. And he was coming down on a fast break. They threw it up off the glass. That was electric.
He missed it though.
Yeah.
His performance made you forget that Tracy McGrady and Steve Francis were great.
And
any other year, either one of them would have won it.
They'd have won it.
But Vince was just on another
level.
And speaking of Tracy McGrady, he was talking in an interview with Kobe, and he asked Kobe. He said, why did you get in?" He said, "Man, I wasn't losing the Vince because I knew what was going to happen." He said, "Man, you were supposed to tell me."
Right. Oh man.
So number 3, Michael Jordan's last All-Star game in 2003 that Kobe tried to steal from him. I love it.
Remember that?
I remember that.
So Mike hit the shot.
Right.
So they were up. East was up. Kobe came down. Was like, nah, he hit a basket.
But Mike hit the game. He hit the game winner, didn't he?
Well, he
hit the fadeaway in regulation. Right.
Which could have been the game winner.
Right.
But Kobe went down on the other end and made
absolutely.
I think he got to the free throw line, made some free throws, and sent it into overtime. So yeah, Kobe wasn't be denied. If we're gonna compete, we're gonna compete.
Right.
So
I love it. I love it.
Competition. And like I said, I thought it was 2001, but now that you brought that up, the 2003.
Yeah.
I mean, we still moving the goalposts.
Yeah.
So that's about the best one as far as the last most competitive one.
Yeah. And no question, this list is packed with winners, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So number 2 is the tribute to Kobe and Gigi in 2020. That All-Star game.
Yeah.
I mean, again, one of the most competitive basketball players on the planet. One of the things that I respect about Kobe is that every year he got better at something in his game. Obviously, it's been written how much he patterned his game after Mike, which we all saw. But just a competitor, man, and it's the kind of spirit that the NBA is missing.
So with that being said, the 2020, the year after his passing, because he passed in January.
Yeah.
Then weeks later, you get the All-Star game. That was probably the most disappointing All-Star game, coming off of we celebrating Kobe Bryant, one of the most competitive guys that ever played.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was still a 3-point dunk contest, no defense.
Yeah. Well,
I thought they lit the situation down.
So remember they changed it to they had a goal point system where we're gonna play to this number.
Oh, the Elam ending is what it's called. It's the Elam ending.
So the
Elam ending,
and that was to honor him, right? That was to honor Kobe.
Okay, so but
and it's that sort of thing. And I think they got all they could out of that game. But to your point, it still wasn't at the same level that we had grown accustomed.
Yeah, absolutely.
To that point of seeing that All-Star game. And then the number one All-Star moment was Magic coming back in '92.
Absolutely.
And playing in that All-Star game.
The great Irvin Magic Johnson, man. Yeah. He was, it was just a different time back then, man. Because he could, if that would have happened right now, he would still play. I would think.
Played it out.
The league, particularly a couple of players like Karl Malone. I think he didn't really want Magic in the game at that time.
Yeah, he talked.
Really, nobody knew about HIV and. They just thought if I touch you, you sweat on me or whatever, I could catch the disease. But I think that that moment in 1992 with Magic, man, was a great moment. They welcomed me back. One of my top 10 players of all time.
They went one-on-one.
All of that,
Isaiah took him, and Jordan took him.
Yeah, man. So.
And he hit big shots. Only in the magical way that he could do it, man. So shout out to Irvin.
And Magic still giving back to the community. He just gave a guy in California, his house got burned down. Guy lived in his house for 60 years. Magic came out there, supported him, bought him a jersey, and he wrote him a personal check for $20,000. So Magic still giving, man. Still take care of his parents. And you never really hear nothing bad about Magic. He's one of the richest black men in the country, and he always sharing his wealth. So, yeah. Cut me a check, please.
Class small. I mean, this. Yeah. I probably told this story a few times. I mean, when I first became, started watching basketball as a kid, it was the Celtics and the Lakers, and it was those are the only two teams that were regularly
in the finals.
On TV,
on TV. Right? Yeah.
And sometimes you had to watch it on tape delay. Audience doesn't know about tape delay. NBA Finals was what's on tape delay.
Right.
It'll happen on a Tuesday. You won't get to see it till Wednesday.
Right.
That actually happened. But it was a style of play. It was a style of play, and it was the flair and the flash, the scoring, the great players, the hustle, those purple and gold uniforms. Magic was from Lansing, played at Michigan State. That smile, all of that. So for all those reasons, man, I've always been always gravitated towards the Lakers and towards Magic Johnson. And he was one of those guys that after watching a game like that, you would go out in your backyard or in the alley,
try to
shoot on the crate.
About the crate. Right.
And throw that hook like Magic or throw a no look pass like Magic. Man, so he's definitely one of the greats.
And you never seen him, man. 6'9".
No,
6'9" guard.
Not a 6'9" point guard.
Not a 6'9" point guard.
Not a 6'9".
Never saw that.
Not at all.
Right. Yeah.
So shout out to Magic, and hopefully one day, someday,
we're getting on the show.
Like a Magic or players like a Kobe, players like a Mike, that kind of spirit will enter in the NBA, and we'll see an All-Star game that's competitive.
So it's
going after each other.
Yeah, so this is a solid list, man, and there's many more out there. So if you guys get on the comments on YouTube, man, if you got some more that was missed by the Revolt TV, send them out to us, man. We'd love to hear that.
Well, I'll tell you one. I think that full court bounce pass that Isaiah threw to Mike. This was probably one of those early All-Star games.
That might be like 84, 85, something like that.
Yeah, something like 85.
86.
85, 86.
I remember it, yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
And also, when Bird won it and held up that finger.
Bam.
That
Three point.
the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
3-point contest. Yeah.
Those are the kind of moments that I remember about the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Well, and the All-Star game, man, like you said, it used to be competitive, man. Even if they played the first 3 quarters, lackadaisical, or just boom, boom, boom.
Right, exactly.
They tighten up fourth quarter.
quarters
The
got
game
tight.
was going to be tight. We lock it down. And some guys who thought they were going to get minutes didn't get minutes. This is All-Star game. We're going with my starting 5.
Yeah.
The best of the best get to play in the fourth quarter.
Yep, that's it.
Well, toast up to RIP to the competitive All-Star game.
Oh man,
That's gone. Rest in peace with that one. Yeah.
Man, so
And that's been another episode of the Brown Couch Bruhz. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's free. It's free. It don't cost you a dime. Subscribe, man. Keep us on coming back every week.
no money. It don't cost you no money at all.
Nothing.
And we out here.
We out. Peace.